Hi, welcome to the channel of Life Beyond the Speed Limit. Why beyond the speed limit? Because I am over 55. Get it? Well, I'm a dad and I'm allowed to do dad jokes. Okay, in this video, I will tell you some travel tips for those 50 plus or the mature audience. As you know, I am over 55 and I've actually traveled more in the last 15 years than I did in my first 30. So these are the things, the tips, maybe hacks if you will, that help me in my travels. And mind you, I'm from the Philippines, and for me to go to the US or into Europe, that's more than a 15-hour flight. So these are the things that help me during these long haul flights. And they will also help you in those medium or short haul flights, especially for those securities. All right, the first tip, the first hack or tip that I would recommend for those 50 and over is to get slip-in or slip-on shoes. I don't know what you call them, but it means that it's not really it's not the slipping in. It's both the removal and the putting back on the shoes. Why? And if you traveled, you know this very well. Airport security. And I'm sure 99% of you will take off their shoes in the security line. You have to put them in the bin and goes through the x-ray machine. And then you have to travel through your own x-ray machine without socks or with socks, depending on what you wear. Now, imagine yourself with a long line behind you. If you had laced shoes or a high-end zipper boot or even the mid-level boot with the zipper, it takes time to put them back on. Now, if you had one of those slip-ons or slip-in shoes, like this what I have, I'll show you a picture. These are the Skechers slip-ins, and they are great for traveling. And it's not just the security line. It's when you are stuck, when you are sitting in a very tight economy seat and you need to take off your shoes. It may sound unhygienic, but hey, if airlines offer socks in their little booty bag, that means you can take off your shoes and wear socks over your feet. And let's say in a long haul flight, you want to take off your shoes because feet expand at high altitude. So imagine taking it out and putting it back in a tight economy seat. Not all of us are lucky enough to travel business class or first class. So in a tight economy seat, slip-ons, shoes work great. You don't have to bend down and tie your shoelace. So my first tip for you is get those slip-on or slip-on shoes. Now, if you are brave enough, travel with Crocs. I'm not allowed to. My wife doesn't allow me. Now, the second hack or second tip may be a bit embarrassing, but as for me, I don't care anymore because of a certain incident, which I will tell you later and why I will give this as an advice or a suggestion. Take advantage of the wheelchair assist. Now, if you're over 50 and they have a little gray on their hair like mine, I think it's acceptable to take the wheelchair. Why? When you're over your 50s, if you're in good health, great for you. If you can walk 45 minutes, 30 minutes, great. But not all of us can do that. Maybe 20 minutes, but not 40 or 30. So most airlines in some airports offer free wheelchair assist. Take advantage of it. That means you just have to walk to the check-in counter, and from the check-in counter all the way to the gate, you are sitting down. It might take time, but imagine you're also being the priority for the security and immigration. Now, if you're too embarrassed about going all the way to the airplane, just take it all the way. Just take the wheelchair to the gate and just tell the wheelchair assistant, hey, thank you for your time. Thank you for what you did. I can go on my own. And I'm sure the wheelchair guy or wheelchair person will say, great, I'm out of here. So don't also do it when you take off. Do it when you land. Why am I giving this tip? Well, I came from the UK recently. My son's studying there now. So after dropping him off, went home. Now, in Dubai, when you take Emirates, if your layover is more than 10 hours, they give you free hotel stay, which I took. Hey, free hotel. Now, transiting to Dubai is easy. I mean, it's from just gate to gate. But when you have to take the free hotel, you have to leave, or you have to enter Dubai officially. So I had to go from the airport gate or the airplane gate all the way to the immigration. And that walk took almost an hour. And I got really tired. So the next day when we sort of checked in to the next flight, the next flight back to the Philippines, it was going to be a 10-hour flight. And I said, no, I don't want to get tired again. I took the wheelchair assist to the gate. True enough, it took about 20 minutes by walking. So again, I did not feel as tired. So if you're not embarrassed about it, and if you really want to have a restful flight, even if it's more so it's a long haul, take the wheelchair assist. Now, the third tip I'll give you is take advantage of credit card lounges. So you're 55, 50s, you're successful, I'm sure you have one of those platinum credit cards. Check with your bank, check with your card issuer, see if your card gives you free access, or if not a small amount, to the lounges at the airport. They are a godsend. Let's say you have a long-haul flight or a medium flight. These lounges are great because number one, they offer free food, free lounge chairs, free tables, and sometimes free drinks. Isn't that great? So let's say if it's free, good. If there's a minimal charge, let's say $20, $15, I would still take it. It's a good investment because you don't want to spend $10 for spaghetti, $10 for a burger, and $18 for a martini. See, that's free in the lounge. So check your bank, check your card issuer. I'm sure at this point you're successful in your business and you've earned enough in your credit history to get that platinum or even gold status. So if there is a credit card lounge that is with your card, I say take advantage, because that will make your trip a lot easier. Now, the fourth tip or the fourth hack I will suggest for these mature flyers like me is to wear loose garter pants. Why is that? First, it's more comfortable in the airplane. If you wear jeans, they're actually heavy. If you wear slacks and it's going to be part of your business suit or your business attire, it's going to get crumpled. So these light or loose, I'm sure they're light, these loose garter-based pants, first of all, there's no belt. Why is that better? You have to remove your belt in security. And if you wear tight pants or loose pants and that belt's holding it up, and there's no belt through security, good luck. Another advantage of loose garter-based pants is that if you have a long-haul flight and you want to change to more comfortable clothes, let's say maybe pajamas or even a better set of jogging pants, it's easy to remove them or change clothes in the lavatory. Or if not, if you need to do your business in the lavatory, it's easier to remove these pants than to remove jeans. Trust me, when my son gave me this tip, oh my God, I thanked him for it. I had an easier time in my long-haul flight from Los Angeles to Manila, nonstop, about 15 hours. And with those loose garter-based pants, I'd have to worry about removing them, I didn't have a hard time removing them when I need to go to the laboratory. Secondly, most importantly, if you want to save time and aggravation, you don't need to wear a belt, and belts are troublesome during airport security. So again, loose garter-based pants. Now, the next tip I'll give you is actually the most important one. And I have experienced the benefits of that tip, is to get travel insurance. Now, 6 years ago, I was on a trip with some relatives, and my relative had a incident wherein they had to be in an ambulance and was brought to the local hospital. And this was in the United States, the dreaded United States, the high cost of medical expenses. True enough, the ambulance cost more than about mid four figures, and the other tests had to be done. Oh my God. They were almost like a 1 year's salary worth. And she was eventually released from the hospital and given some medicine, and that was that. And that incident, they had to pay for it. Now, with me, I had an incident just recently, last September, coming home from the UK. I had some complications in the airport. I'm sorry, I had complications in the airplane. And as soon as we landed, I went straight from the airplane to the airport to the hospital. And of course, there were still ambulance expenses, and I had to spend almost a week in the hospital. And all that was covered by insurance. So again, that was covered because it was incidental to the flight. So, especially if you're going to the United States, not that I put down the United States, but they are well known for high medical costs. So if you go to the US, and of course, I know if you're gonna, some people from Asia like me, when we have to go to Europe, when we apply for a visa, I'll actually have a video on that soon, we need to have already prepaid medical travel insurance. So that's a requirement for us when we apply for a Schengen visa. So guys, if you can, I'm sure the cost is minimal, because imagine a ambulance that will cost you $3,000, but the travel insurance will only cost you maybe 30 or even just as most as $100. And then that's just the ambulance. It's already covered. So again, that tip is to get travel insurance. I hope you learned something from this. And if you have any more tips, please put them in the comments below, and I would appreciate them. I would enjoy a conversation with you guys. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel, and please like this video. It'll help me a lot. It'll help my channel grow, and make more videos about us 55 and over. Well, let's say 50 and over.